Huntsville City Council meeting is now in session. If you were to have an electronic device that could disrupt this proceeding, please turn it off or put it in a silent mode. As always, thank you so kindly for your help. Also, will you stand, if you please, for the invocation led by the Reverend Robert Somerville, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilman Mark Russell.
Our Father and our God, I thank you this evening for our city fathers and concerned citizens. Your word clearly commands us to pray for those in authority. So prayer is not just a formality, but indeed a necessity. First, Lord, ask you that you grant them a refreshing of the tools of leadership. I pray that this evening will be a productive session on behalf of the city of Huntsville. I ask that the spirit of unity would prevail here. Love is the door to unity, but humility is the key. Your prophet Isaiah articulated the appropriate formula for successful counseling by declaring upon the overseers of his time the 7 attributes of your character. As I do now upon this council, may the Spirit of the Lord rest upon you for sensitivity, the spirit of wisdom to communicate, the spirit of understanding to discern the truth, the spirit of counsel to listen, the spirit of strength to be patient, the spirit of knowledge to grasp the facts, and the spirit of the fear of the Lord for spiritual insight. May it be so upon this council, in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Reverend Somerville, and thank you, Councilman Russell. Council members, you have before you an electronic copy of the minutes from our February 25th meeting. Are there any corrections or additions? Hearing none, the minutes will stand as recorded. We're now at agenda item number 4, resolutions and special recognitions. Mayor Battle, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. If I could ask Kenny Anderson to come forward. Kenny has us a CAFY Youth of the Month, and I think he has the CAFY committee with us, and if they would all come forward too. Kenny?
Thank you, Mayor. This evening we have a special award to acknowledge for our March CAFY Young Citizen of the Month. Her name is Jasmine Thornhill, and she's coming up at this time. Jasmine is an 11th grade student at Oakwood Adventist Academy. Among the many things that she does, she is a United Student Movement Stop Hunger Now campaign volunteer. She went on a 10-day mission trip to the Dominican Republic during her Christmas break. She volunteered as an aide for a STEM summer camp at Oakwood Adventist Academy, and she also has served as a Central America Youth Ambassador to the Dominican Republic and Nicaragua. Among her accomplishments, she is on the principals list, the honor roll. She's on the National Honor Society. She's Delta Sigma Theta honoree, Science Fair Awards, and numerous other awards. The March 2016 Youth of the Month, Jasmine Thornhill. Congratulations, Jasmine. These people have some things to share with you. I'll start on the end with Alfred.
Jasmine, on behalf of the Optimist Club of Huntsville, an organization who for over 70 years has been directly involved in the improvement and achievement of our young people, I'd like to present you this with your achievement, and as well. In May, you will get an invitation from the Optimist Club to be a part of our Youth Achievement Banquet as well.
Jasmine, I just want to say congratulations on behalf of Star 99 and Rocket City Broadcasting. And here is a gift for you, and we really appreciate all you do. Thank you.
Jasmine, we also have a gift bag from Huntsville Utilities. We got something in there for your mind, body, and soul. And one card in there. Don't spend it all in one place. Congratulations.
Hi, Jasmine. On behalf of the Human Relations Commission from the City of Huntsville, I present you your certificate for the CAFY Star 99.1 Youth Star Citizen of the Month.
Jasmine, on behalf of the Huntsville Police Department, Chief Mark McMurray, and all of the Huntsville police officers, we want to present you with this token for a job well done. I encourage you to continue doing the things that you're doing in the community. Congratulations.
And Jasmine, finally, I'd like to give you a coin from the city. And a coin from the city is presented to people who make our city a better place, and we want to thank you for all that you've done. Congratulations and best wishes for you in the future. Thank you, Jasmine, and congratulations again. Mr. President, that's all I have.
Thank you, Mayor Battle. And Mayor Battle, you still have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. We'd like to ask Judy Riles to come forward, and the Convention and Visitors Bureau, they have just put together a brand new digital page on the internet and web page, and they have it all cranked up so that they can show it to us and to the citizens tonight. And as everybody has said, what an outstanding job. Thank you very much for the job y'all done.
Thank you. We are so excited to be able to launch this new website. It was something that was very much needed, particularly with us becoming a gig city. We had to make sure that we had the very best website that we could put out there. We've been working on this website for over a year. It takes quite some time to build a really terrific website, and our entire team worked on this. We worked with SimpleView, a company that is specialist with destination marketing organizations. So we chose the best company we could to help us put that website together. And our leader of the team was Jessica Carlton, who is our marketing manager. And I want to congratulate the city for hiring her as your digital marketing person, because you have gotten a good one. We've helped train her, and she's going to be a terrific asset to the city and continue being an asset for the Convention and Visitors Bureau. But I'm going to turn it over to Jessica now.
Well, thank you, Judy, and thank you, Mayor Battle and City Administrator Hamilton, Council President Culver, and the entire Huntsville City Council for giving us a few brief moments to officially introduce you to the new huntsville.org. So I'm just going to open up the browser real quick. We officially launched this site on February 25th at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. We had about 100 of our hospitality industry partners with us to launch. And, you know, we had our previous site for about 6 years, and we are very excited to launch a modern, sleek, user-friendly site that we feel truly befits the innovative and tech-friendly Rocket City. So it's very important. This is our online face for Huntsville for visitors and meeting planners and convention attendees. And it's very important to grab them from the very beginning with captivating, large, iconic, stunning photos of Huntsville and Madison County. So you'll see the photo slider. The first thing when you type huntsville.org, that's the first thing that pops up. As we scroll through, you'll see beautiful photos. And all of these photos link to internal landing pages that offer more information about those photos' topic areas. And so, for example, if we're to click on the U.S. Space and Rocket Center's header photo, we're led to a page with tons of great information about the state's #1 paid tourist attraction. And you'll see here as we scroll down, this event widget slider. Now, this is on every page of the new huntsville.org, and we feel that this is very important because travelers come for many different reasons. But one way to get travelers here and to get them to stay longer, which both benefit our community positively economically, is to share with them how many diverse events we have all the time in Huntsville and Madison County. And if you click on this View All Events, you'll be led to a comprehensive event listing. So if we'll scroll back up to the home page, basically, to get back to the home page, you click the icon right here in the upper left. And we're going to keep this brief. We're going to spend most of our time on the home page, and then we'll briefly touch on primary navigation and secondary navigation to wrap up. So we definitely want to encourage you after this to dig into the site and let us know your feedback. So as we scroll down, I want to make note of this trip builder feature. It's called My Trip. Think of Amazon when you're purchasing things and you select an item that you're interested in purchasing, the number pops up right here. Trip Builder is similar, but all focused on visitors and obviously requiring no purchase. So as you're scrolling through huntsville.org and you see an attraction that you are interested in, or a hotel that you think would be a good fit for your stay, or a restaurant that you particularly want to eat at, you can add it to your Trip Builder and then go back at any time and view a page that's dedicated to things that you have noted that specifically interest you. I also want to note this share icon. We want any visitor who likes anything on our page to be able to share it very easily on their social media platform of choice. So you'll find this icon on every page of the new huntsville.org. As we scroll down, you'll see a news feed of sorts where we're going to put news that we think is relevant to meeting planners and leisure travelers. So for example, the exciting new announcement of the AC Hotel property by Marriott coming to Huntsville, we'll share here. Or the fact that Huntsville is a Final Four destination finalist to host the Women in Travel Summit, which is determined by votes similar to the Social Media Tourism Symposium, will be there too. New leisure news, such as the iHeart Huntsville collection, which can be found at the Visitor Center, and as a partnership with Arts Huntsville, can also be found. And of course, another reason that folks love to travel is for food, so we'll post new restaurant openings right there. As we scroll down, another really fascinating aspect of the new site is what we deem the social media station. And what I really love about this is even if you don't have a social media account, or maybe you're on Facebook and Twitter, but not on Instagram and Pinterest, you can still see great information about Huntsville and Madison County that's relevant to visitors and meeting planners. As we scroll down, you'll see the events widget. And as we scroll further, you'll see something that we really want to emphasize to visitors and meeting planners, which is how central and close Huntsville is to many other great destinations. If you click on this link, you can also be led to a page that talks about how easy it is to fly into Huntsville via our friends at Huntsville International Airport and the Huntsville Hot Ticket Program. But we love this map because it shows our proximity to Nashville, Memphis, Atlanta, New Orleans, and the beach. And we feel that that is a very big plus in our favor when promoting Huntsville and Madison County as a visitor and meeting destination. And as we scroll even further down, a very exciting section that is new to huntsville.org is the district section. And we worked very hard to work with local officials to identify those areas of town that are very culturistically and characteristically unique, that are clusters of activity where lots of hotels and restaurants, attractions and things to do are populated. So you'll see information on Research Park, on downtown Huntsville, on the Montesano area, and on the Village of Providence area. And when you click, you can be led to an internal page with even more information. And we're super excited about this because we know there are travelers of all sorts of different backgrounds who travel for many different reasons. So maybe downtown Huntsville is a good fit for them, or maybe they want to stay in the Montesano area. For meeting planners, maybe they'd like to know what sort of offerings are in downtown Huntsville for their convention attendees after traditional hours. So we'll navigate back. This section, the Choose Your Experience section, is another exciting addition. We worked with local influencers, local bloggers and writers, and we asked them to create custom itineraries for all sorts of different types of travelers. So if I'm really into the arts, I might want to take a look at the Arts Lover itinerary. Or if I'm here for a business trip and only here briefly, maybe the custom business trip itinerary is what I want to check out. On every page of the website is the Get a Visitor Guide request button and the email sign up button, because we know when those folks sign up for a visitor guide or an e-blast that they are a really high candidate for traveling to Huntsville and Madison County, and we need to follow up with them to see how we can make that travel visit happen. The site translates into over 65 languages, which we know Huntsville appreciates because we're proud to be an inclusive community. So if you select a language, you'll see the translation services at work, courtesy of Google Translate. So we'll change that back to English. And then at the very bottom, one of my personal favorite features of the new site is this beautiful Huntsville skyline, which includes many iconic images of buildings in Huntsville. You have a building from the Huntsville Botanical Garden, the water tower at Low Mill Arts and Entertainment, the bridge at Big Spring International Park, the Von Braun Center. And when we click this blast off to the top button, voila, we're at the top, which is exactly where we need to be to briefly go over primary and secondary navigation. We have a comprehensive events listing that categorizes things by season as well, because we know travelers plan in advance. And maybe they would prefer to come in the summer versus the fall and want to know what our offerings are and how they differentiate via season. Things to do section is where information on our attractions live. And you see all sorts of other information from shopping options to outdoor options, spa listings, sports leisure listings, and more. And of course, listings based on local restaurants, food trucks, and breweries, hotel listings, visitor info, which includes information on our visitor centers. And up here is secondary level navigation. And we highlighted meetings in green because we know how important the meeting industry is for Huntsville and Madison County. It's big business. When we think of groups like Goldwing, Wingding 37, and AUSA, which is going to be here really soon, this section is for those meeting planners who plan those type of events. And one thing that's really, really cool about this section is the facility search slider. So if I'm a meeting planner and I know in order to come to Huntsville, I need at least 3,000, we'll just pick a random number, square feet, I can search for meeting facilities that match that criteria. And if I know I really want to meet near the Von Braun Center, which is in downtown Huntsville, and I want to know what other maybe unique venues are around there, I can search by district and geographic area as well. We have information about group tour services, so bus tours and student group tours info will live here. Information for sports planners and event tournament planners. And of course, for our friends in the local, regional, and national media, we have information, things like research and reports where we can highlight the importance of the tourism industry. It's 14,000 plus jobs. The fact that it saves the average the average taxpayer over $650. Important information that we want to share with media is all congregated in that section. The wedding section, because we know folks travel here for a variety of reasons, and no matter what they come here for, we want to make sure that they enjoy their stay and that they come back. And a film section where we can connect the film industry with important leads and contacts here to make Huntsville an even more appealing destination for film projects. And of course, you can check the weather at any time, see if you want to venture out during your stay or if maybe you want to stay in the hotel a little while longer. And this search feature up here makes it super easy. If you don't know exactly where something is listed on the site, this is a really good way to find exactly what you've come to huntsville.org for. So we'll wrap it up. Thank you for giving us a few minutes to explore the huntsville.org. I know that was fast, but we want to encourage you to explore on your own, and we definitely want to hear feedback. The wonderful thing about websites is we can incorporate great suggestions rather quickly. So we'd be happy to answer any questions, and we're looking forward to hearing your feedback.
Thank you, ma'am. Council members, any questions? Very cool. Thank you. I believe I could navigate your webpage there, and I'm a little challenged. So,
Good.
very good. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
kindly. Thank you all. Council members, we're now at agenda item 4B2A, adoptions and presentations. The chair moves for consolidation and approval of 4B2A through G. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dr. Showers. And council members, I'll read A in its entirety, and for the remainder, I will just read the name. Resolution honoring Dr. Marvin Carroll for his volunteerism and service to the community during the 2016 Honoring Our Elders celebration, sponsored by the Rosetta James Foundation, to be held at the Jackson Center on March 12th, 2016. I will just read the names of the other honorees, and the resolutions read the same. Mother Betty Craighead, Mr. James D. Foster, Mr. Freeman Holyfield, Miss Janie Holyfield, Miss Jacqueline Reed, and the Honorable Dr. Richard Showers, Sr. Ready for the question? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It carries. We're now at agenda item 4.2H, resolution honoring Miss Dorothy Davison as a pioneer for her exemplary career accomplishments in the local community during the 2016 Honoring Our Elders celebration, sponsored by the Rosetta James Foundation, to be held at the Jackson Center, March 12th, 2016. Sponsored by the chair. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion by Dr. Showers, second by the chair. Discussion. Ready for the question. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It carries. 4B2I, resolution honoring Reverend Dr. Julius Scruggs as pioneer for his exemplary service throughout the religious community during the 2016 Honoring Our Elders celebration, sponsored by the Rosetta James Foundation, to be held at the Jackson Center on March 12th, 2016. The chair moves for approval.
Second.
Second by Dr. Showers. Discussion. Ready for the question. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It carries. 4B2J is a resolution acknowledging Urban Strings as a featured musical talent during a special performance at the 2016 Honoring Our Elders celebration, sponsored by the Rosetta James Foundation, to be held at the Jackson Center on March 12th, 2016. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Clean, second by the chair. Discussion. Ready for the question. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It carries. 4B2K is a resolution honoring the life of Albert Franklin Farrar, Sr., with a memorial service to be held at First Missionary Baptist Church on March 12th, 2016, brought by Dr. Showers. Chair moves for approval.
Second.
Second by Dr. Showers. Discussion. Ready for the question. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It carries. Dr. Showers?
Mr. President, we will, at the service that's going to be held this weekend, we will be presenting a resolution to honor Scoutmaster Farrar on behalf of the mayor and the council members.
Thank you, Dr. Showers. 4B2L is a resolution celebrating Oakwood University's 80th Alumni Homecoming Weekend, promoting both Oakwood University and the fellowship of its alumni, to be held March the 26th, 2016, brought by Dr. Showers and the chair. Chair moves for approval.
Second.
Second by Dr. Showers. Discussion. Ready for the question. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It carries. Dr. Showers.
Mr. President, I would like to tonight share with the mayor, council members, and the public that on March the 19th, there will be a celebration at Alabama A&M University and a retirement ceremony for Dr. Virginia Caples that would be held on the campus of Alabama A&M University And of course, at that occasion, we will again present a resolution honoring her contributions to Alabama A&M University, this community, and this state on behalf of the mayor and the council members.
Thank you, Dr. Showers. We're now at other special recognitions. Announcements. Council members, be reminded that 15F has been deleted, 15U has been deleted, 6A3 has also been deleted. Any further announcements? We do not have any business with outside legal representation. We're now at agenda item number 6, public hearings. 6A, public hearings to be held. 6A1 is public hearing on ordinance number 16-009, amending the City of Huntsville Air Pollution Control Rules and Regulations. This was set at our January the 14th, 2016 regular council meeting. Discussion, Mr. Shea.
Daniel Shea with the city's Natural Resources Department. Mr. President, members of the council, the proposed amendments to the city's air pollution control rules will provide updates and reflect changes to federal and state regulations since the last time the city's rules were amended. Very briefly, those include a change to Chapter 1, updating the definition of volatile organic compounds, changes to the chapter on permitting to reflect a recent Supreme Court decision, and also increasing the fees, the permit application fees, to the level currently charged by the state. Chapter 5, fairly extensive changes, again reflecting changes to federal law concerning incineration of industrial and commercial solid waste, and chapters 13 and 14 incorporating new source performance standards and federal national emission standards for hazardous air pollutants. We did send out letters to roughly 100 facilities that hold permits from us, advising them of the changes. We have not received any comments, and the Air Pollution Control Board does recommend that the council adopt the proposed changes.
Thank you, Mr. Shea. Anyone from the public wishes to address the council on this matter? Hearing none, the public hearing is now closed.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Russell, second by Dr. Robinson. Discussion? Ready for the question? Any discussion? Ready for the question? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It carries. Thank you, Mr. Shea. We're now to 6A2, public hearing to hear and consider all objections or protests, if any, to the proposed removal of a nuisance at 3212 Yale Circle Northwest. This was set at our regular council meeting February the 25th, 2015. Discussion, Ms. Jordan.
Yes, Mr. Culver, council, as you stated, you declared 3212 Yale Circle Northwest a public nuisance on February 25th and set a public hearing for tonight so that all interested parties could be heard, and there might be comments from the public tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Jordan. Anyone from the public wishes to address the council on this particular matter? Hearing none, the public hearing is now closed. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Clean, second by Dr. Robinson. Discussion? Ready for the question? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It carries. 6A4 is a public hearing on resolution number 16-144, authorizes the issuance of multifamily housing revenue bonds for Westlake Apartments. This was set at our regular council meeting February the 25th, 2016. Discussion, Ms. Jordan.
Yes, Mr. Culver, council. Mr. Thomas Francis Jr. is with us tonight to speak to this item. It's your pleasure to hear
Thank you, Ms. Jordan. Council members. Thank you, sir. If you will state your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, my name is Tom Francis. I'm a lawyer with Balch and Bingham Law Firm in Birmingham. My address is 3887 Lockerbie Drive, Birmingham, Alabama.
Thank you, sir. Welcome.
I'm here representing a developer who is purchasing and rehabilitating 9 housing projects in 4 different states. One of those 9 projects is here on called the Westlake Apartments at 1901 Spartan Drive. And this developer plans on having bonds issued by an entity in Wisconsin to finance all 9 projects. However, there is a federal law that requires, as a condition to the issuance of these tax-exempt bonds, that the governmental body where each project is located approve the financing and the projects. So that's why to approve that and to have a public hearing on it. Consequently, we have published in the Huntsville Times at least a notice of this hearing at least 14 days prior to the hearing. So we're here for the hearing, and then to allow anyone to have comments, and if there are no after the public hearing, then we ask you to adopt the resolution that you have in front of you.
Thank
Does anybody
you.
have any questions?
Thank you, Counselor. If you will just hold on, we may have some questions.
Okay.
Does anyone from the public wishes to address the council on this particular matter? Hearing none, the public hearing is now closed. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Russell, second by Dr. Robinson. Discussion?
I guess the question, this is probably pro forma, but what we're doing tonight as the city council in the city of Huntsville, we are not anyway being legally liable for, the financing of this project, are we?
That is absolutely correct, and in fact, in the resolution, there is a statement to that effect.
Thank you.
That's a very good question. I'm sorry I didn't specifically address that earlier.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Councilman Kling. Any further discussion, council members? Ready for the question? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It carries. Thank you, sir, and congratulations.
Thank you. We appreciate your help.
Yes, sir. We're now at 6A5, a public hearing on a resolution authorizing the city clerk treasurer to assess the cost of demolishing the property located at 2139 Davidson Street, brought by Community Development. Ms. Jordan?
Yes, Mr. Culver, Council, on October 8th, 2015, you authorized the demolition of this property, and demolition was completed on January 14th, 2016. The total cost for this abatement was $6,086.46. The property owner was notified by regular and certified mail of the cost of the abatement and failed to pay the bill. So I'm requesting your approval to assess the property owner for the cost of this abatement.
Thank you, Ms. Jordan. Anyone from the public wishes to address the council on this particular matter? Hearing none, the public hearing is now closed. Chair moves for approval.
Second.
Second by Dr. Robinson. Discussion? Ready for the question? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It carries. 6A6 is a public hearing on a resolution authorizing the city clerk treasurer to assess the cost of boarding and secure against certain properties, brought by Community Development. Ms. Jordan?
Yes, Mr. Culver, Council, 101 Whitney Avenue Northwest and 13929 Wyandotte Drive Southwest were found standing open and accessible, and as a result, Community Development staff boarded and secured these properties. The cost of boarding the property in Whitney was $241.06, and the cost for boarding the property on Wyandotte was $258.21. Both owners received a written request for payment and failed to respond, so I'm requesting that an assessment be placed on both properties so that we can recoup our costs.
Thank you, Ms. Jordan. Anyone from the public wishes to address the council on this matter? Hearing none, the public hearing is now closed. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion by Dr. Showers, second by Dr. Robinson. Discussion? Ready for the question? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It carries. We're now at agenda item 6B, public hearings to be set. Chair moves for consolidation and approval of 6B 1 and 2. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dr. Showers. 6B 1 is a resolution to set a public hearing on an ordinance rezoning property lying on the south side of Redstone Road, west side of Hobbs Road, Highway Business C4 District to Residence 2 District. This will be set April the 28th, 2016, at our regular council meeting brought by planning. 6B2 is a resolution to set a public hearing on an ordinance rezoning property lying on the east side of Montesano Boulevard and the east side of Viaduct Lane from Residence 1 District to Planning Development Housing District, LUI, rating 35. This will be held April the 28th, 2016. Ready for the question? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It carries. We're now at communications and reports. As I call your name, proceed to the microphone. You will have approximately 3 minutes to address the council. State your name and address for the record, please. Ms. Sasha Riffle.
Hello, my name is Sasha Riffle, 2402 Crestwood Drive, 35805. Good evening. I'm speaking on behalf of my husband, Jonathan Pacheco. Jonathan, also known as Johnny, is a skateboarder in Huntsville and Southeast. He has been filmed by the city of Huntsville and cited on the downtown Huntsville promotional website. In December of 2011, Jonathan Pacheco and a friend of his went skateboarding. It was a cold night, so when the two found the doors to the abandoned Stone Middle School open, they thought, indoor skating session, perfect. The police showed up with guns in hands, even though it wasn't a violent situation, and Johnny thought it would be safer to sit and wait for the police instead of running away. The skateboarders did not resist. While waiting for the officers to figure out what needed to be done, one of the officers told the skateboarders that it would be fine and they would be let go. The officer even did a trick on his board while they were sitting in handcuffs. Eventually, they were taken to the station for questioning and then arrested and put in jail, charged with burglary in the 3rd degree, even though there is written evidence showing there was nothing taken or damaged. There was no intent on stealing anything, just looking for a place to skate. After spending 2 nights in jail, having to be bailed out, and gone to court, the charge changed to criminal trespassing in the 2nd degree. The fence was open, they did not see any posted no trespassing signs, and the doors were open. They had to remain inside in fear of getting shot. However, he was sentenced to 90 days in jail or probation for 1 year. The order that was given is not even signed by a judge. And probation for skateboarding? What did the probation dues pay for? Skateboard tests, skateboard rehab classes? It sounds ridiculous, right? Since when is skateboarding such a crime? Why did these officers assume that they were going to perform an illegal act and charge them with burglary in the 3rd degree? Skateboarding is not illegal. We recently received a letter of a tax intercept to be forwarded to a debt of over $2,000 to the courts. This seems to be an ever-changing number. Regardless, Jonathan has already paid over $1,000 in documented probation fees, which his probation ended up being revoked. The final payment he made to this probation officer went undocumented, and the probation officer transferred. The way these men were charged is unfair and unjust. This balance needs to be cleared and the case dropped. It seems skateboarders have a bad reputation for what reason, I'm not sure. Any violence that has happened at the skate park is from people who don't even skate. We need to know who has the authority to balance this debt and what steps need to be taken to do so. Finally, I would like to turn something negative into something positive by proposing a Skate Not Hate Day, June 21st, which is National Skateboarding Day. Similar to the annual bike ride, we invite the community to skate outdoors and enjoy downtown Huntsville. Not limited to just skateboards, all ages can enjoy feeling young around town for a day and spread the message to our children that skating is simply fun and good for you and not criminal. Thank you. Go Skateboarding Day.
Thank you, Ms. Ripple. And we certainly are excited about the Skate Not Hate Day. To answer your question, that is a judicial matter which really needs to run its course through the judicial process. Not sure if he has a licensed lawyer, but there are some appellate processes in place, but this particular body doesn't address those issues, although we regret the unfortunate circumstances surrounding
How do we
that.
go about making these steps?
And I want to ask our city attorney if he will to maybe speak with you offline because of privacy issues, Counselor, if you don't mind, or if you prefer to speak to her now, you certainly can. That is your choice.
I'll be happy to speak with you at the end of the meeting or when we have a break, whichever, okay?
Okay, when is the break? I have a baby, he's 11 months. Or if I could give you my contact or...
I think he's going to come down and meet with you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so
kindly,
much.
ma'am.
And if you're interested, I know you are. You want to ride bikes
Yes.
this June 21st. Who do I need to talk to about that?
Me.
Bill, okay,
You've
so
been
at
to
the
my
library,
town meetings. You've been to my town meetings before. Third Monday at 6 p.m. Come on
third
down.
Monday. What? Okay.
Okay,
Library.
ma'am, your time is up,
Thanks,
ma'am.
sorry.
Thank you. Thank you so kindly. Mr. William Fitch.
Thank you for this opportunity to speak. I'm speaking concerning a fall hazard that exists at Parkway Place Mall. In March of 2013, my wife was in the process of leaving that mall and tripped and fell and suffered pretty extensive medical problems, very severe dental problems, back problems. After consulting with the owners of that mall, I basically was informed that no action would be taken. So we brought a lawsuit against CBL Associates, who's the owner of the mall. This drug on for over 2 years. We were scheduled to go to court in June of 2015. However, in that month, excuse me, my wife passed away before we could go to court. So unfortunately, nothing was ever resolved. I later contacted the inspection department with the city of Huntsville and was informed that construction there was in violation of city ordinances, and was told that CBL would be contacted and that I would receive a copy of the email. Things drug on for a few more weeks. I called again, got kicked up to a different level. Nothing happened. I contacted the department again and was basically told that they would have to walk on eggshells because Parkway Place Mall was a big contributor to the tax base of the city of Huntsville. The condition that caused my wife to fall still exists at that mall. I have no financial interest in this whatsoever. The lawsuit.
Sir, I'm sorry. Your time is up. Would you like another minute?
Please.
Yes, sir. Council members. Thank you. Yes, sir.
I would just like to ask that the council or Mayor Battle could assist in any way in seeing that this situation is resolved.
Mr. President?
Yes, sir. Mr. Clean.
The gentleman, and I guess we need to get everybody on the same page, but if there's been a determination made by the inspection department that something is not up to code or up to the standards it's supposed to be, then to me, that's the bottom line right there. I think he's talked to a lot of different people. I don't know, all the conversations, but could we get him with the department head from the inspection department? Perhaps they could go out and, I guess, look at whatever, look at this area, the portion of the area that the gentleman's talking about. And if it's in violation and if the city has the authority, then I think the inspection department should take action.
Mr. Clean, we'll get him with Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis, if you'll get with him and see what we're talking about and see what we can do. This is Shane Davis, head of our urban development department. He's over all those departments, inspections, engineering, and all the building departments. He's right behind you there.
And thank you, Mayor Battle, and thank you, sir, and we certainly extend our condolences to you and your family. Thank you. Miss Jackie Reed.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for, that's a story. Thanks for taking an interest in that. That's a sad story. Anyway, I have a lot on my mind tonight. Not too much, I hope not. But I want to thank the presentation that was given here tonight. That's the first thing I've really ever seen in all my years coming in here that we really recognized the Rocket City. We've talked a little about it. We all work out there, and we keep hoping it stays here and everything. But that was the first impression that I've seen, and we have talked real big about the Rocket City. That's what we have. That's what we are. We want to be like this town, that town, this town, that town. Y'all want to be a big city, but we need to focus on Huntsville, the Rocket City. I think if you did that, we'd all be a whole lot better off. I have a lot of concerns tonight. I want to thank for that presentation, though. I enjoyed that a lot. The master plan for Research Park is bothering me quite often. I've read it 2-3 times in the paper, Cummings Research Park. It's blighted. When I tell somebody that out here blighted, that you all are going to develop and change 500 acres, they say, well, what's blighted? And I said, they never did answer me. They don't have an answer for blighted area. I hope we don't change Cummings Research Park from industrial to development. You really need to look at that and go in there and work with the people and the owners that own that property and try to help bring businesses into Cummings Research Park. We help make this city blighted. The whole city is blighted in my area. Look at all the empty buildings we have in the city. We cannot buy every piece of property goes out of business. We have got to think beyond the money. We've got to try to help keep Cummings Research Park and fill up those empty buildings. I see what you're trying to do, but before you pass this, you'll bring it in here the night you pass it, and you'll give us a presentation, and you all sit up there and vote on it. I personally would like to see, maybe somebody else needs to see, some of this before you really see if you're going to buy it and give it away. That's what we're doing to the city. We're giving a lot of it away. But I would like to see what's going to happen and where we're going to put what. Something else that's really bothering me is that parking garage down there on Jefferson Street that you all have given to a friend. Retail, half of the parking garages. Of course, my son says, Mom, don't mess with that. I graduated with somebody. I said, I don't care who's got it. I don't care who owns it and who's trying to do what with it.
Ms. Reed, your time is up. Would you like another minute?
Yes.
Council members?
Yes.
I think that's a big mistake what you did to that parking garage down there. We need all the parking we can get in this city. I think it's pretty bad. I think you all done two good things, though. Those white posts that you put up, that you turn off of a street, like on Governor's Drive in California, those little white posts, you get in this lane before you turn. That's helped a lot. All that you put in this city, and no in one way in and one way out. That's two good things I can say you done for the city. So everything you do is not all bad, but it's pretty hard for me to find something good. Anyway, I don't like the direction the city is going. I want you to fill the empty buildings that we already have. Quit going to Limestone County. Take care of what we got, please. Traffic is bad at the schools. And you know what? I got to blame you all, superintendent, and the school board, that Huntsville High is having to pay people to rent their parking places in their homes to park their cars.
Thank you, Ms. Reed. Your
I'll
time
be
is
back.
up, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so kindly. Council members, we're now at agenda item number 8, Huntsville utility items. 8A is a resolution authorizing the approval to purchase a new truck for the Meter Technology Department, Papa Romeo 1020-8867, brought by Utilities.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Russell, second by the chair. Discussion, Mr. Gertis.
As usual, pretty routine item. This is a truck to provide the service of examining meters out in the field, and it's a regular purchase item.
Thank you, Mr. Gertis. Any further discussion, council members? Ready for the question? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It carries. 8B is a resolution authorizing the purchase authorizing the approval to purchase an optical time domain reflectometer, OTDR, Papa Romeo 10209016, brought by Utilities. Chair
Move to
moves.
approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Russell, second by Dr. Robinson. Discussion, Mr. Gertis.
So this one is a rather complicated piece of equipment to analyze fiber optic cable. Obviously, we'll be using this equipment to ensure that we're getting the proper installation of fiber optic cable as we move forward with our network installation.
Thank you, Mr. Gertis. Any further discussion? Ready for the question? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It carries. 8C is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a tri-party agreement among Tennessee Valley Authority, City of Huntsville, Toyota Manufacturing, Alabama, Inc., allowing Toyota Manufacturing, Alabama, Inc., to participate in the Valley Investment Initiative, Volume 7, brought by Utilities.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Russell, second by Dr. Robinson. Discussion, Mr. Gertis.
Yes, sir. This is just an agreement between us and TVA to incentivize Toyota's reinvestment in their activities in the community. And this provides for them some bill credits and some breaks on their electricity bills for continuing their commitment to their participation in our industrial community.
Thank you, Mr. Gertis. Any further discussion? Ready for the question? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It carries. Thank you, Mr. Gertis.
Thank you.
We're now at agenda item number 9, board appointments. There aren't any board appointments to be voted on. 9B is board appointment nomination. 9B1 is a nomination of John Inhinger for reappointment to the Air Pollution Control Board for a term to expire April the 11th, 2021, brought by Councilman Clean. We'll take this up at the next council meeting. Any further nominations? We're now at agenda item number 10, approval of expenditures. 10A is a resolution authorizing expenditures for payment. Dr. Showers.
Mr. President, I submit $5,997,527.33 for payment.
Motion has been made for expenditures in the amount of $5,597,527.33. Properly second. Discussion. Ready for the question? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It carries. Is there a finance report?
Yes.
Dr. Showers. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Ms. Sargent, would you come now? She will give us a brief report of where we are compared to where we were this time last year.
Thank you, Dr. Showers. Ms. Sargent. Thank you, ma'am.
President Culver, Council. We have revenue numbers for the month of February. We are approximately 2% up for the month compared to last year, and approximately 4.4% year to date. Both of these numbers are down from last month's report, and we have come through our peak period of revenue collections, and we're going into that decreasing period because we've finished the holiday season. Additionally, Dr. Showers requested that I look into housing start numbers, and at this point, January numbers are the only ones available. So there were 131 new housing permits issued for our area. This was down 1% versus 2015, and it is up 7% versus December. And there were 128 new housing starts in January, and that was up approximately 5% versus 2015 and 1% versus December.
Thank you, Ms. Sargent. Dr. Showers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Showers. Thank you again, Ms. Sargent. We're now at communications from the mayor. Mayor Battle, you have the floor, sir.
Mr. President, I was reflecting on Ms. Reed's comments when she started talking about she wanted to take care of what you have, and also the empty buildings. That's the whole reason that we're working on a redevelopment plan for Cummings Research Park. If you look at the corner of Bradford and Wynn, there are several empty buildings that are sitting there, and that's the reason that we're doing an urban renewal plan. If you look at Madison Square Mall, several empty buildings there, and that's one of the reasons that we're doing the urban renewal plan and redesigning Research Park so that we can have a park that's vibrant and alive. Research Park is 50 years old, And because it's 50 years old, there are some buildings out there that are 45, and 50 years old, and have gone through their time of economic usefulness. And those buildings are going to have to either come down, be replenished, or refurbished. Something's going to have to happen so that we make sure that as we have the second largest research park in America that has been an asset to us forever and ever, that we want to make sure that asset is still just as good tomorrow as it is today. That's the whole reason we do a research park plan. That's the whole reason we do an urban renewal plan. That's the whole reason that we're working out in that area to try to make that area well. So I just wanted to answer that for you and make sure that everybody understood. That is the plan, to revitalize Research Park and to make it into something that fits more into the 21st century than it did in the 20th century. And it did a very good job for us in the 20th century, but now it's time for change. It's time to get it into the modern day, and it's time to do some things that we haven't thought about. And so that's why we go through a regenerative plan to actually take Research Park from where it was to where it needs to be. And that's what we're looking for. Mr. President, we have the reappointment tonight of Johnny Ozier as a supernumerary member of the Board of Zoning Adjustments for a 3-year term to end 4/11/2019. We also have Sally Warden as a supernumerary member of the Planning Commission of Huntsville for a 3-year term to expire March 10th, 2019. And I'd like to remind the community about the St. Patrick's Day Parade, 11:30 on Saturday. Not sure if it's rain or shine, but if it's raining, wear green and wear green raincoats. And also, Youth Art Month exhibit is at Huntsville Museum of Art, and it starts Sunday at 3, and there'll be some recognition of some young people who have done some great art. And if you want to see some art that you would just be astounded is made by high schoolers, come look at those this weekend and for the rest of the week at the Huntsville Museum of Art. Thank you. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mayor Battle. Now, communications from council members. Dr. Showers, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to acknowledge that this Saturday, on behalf of the council and mayor, we will be presenting a resolution at the final services for Scoutmaster Farrar. The 39th annual St. Patrick's Day, as the mayor has already indicated, this weekend. All are invited to come out. Saturday at 5 p.m., the annual Rosetta James Gala will be out at the Jackson Center. You heard earlier in the meeting tonight the honorees that will be honored at that occasion. On Monday night, the Lincoln Estate Civic Association will be meeting at the Shower Center at 6 o'clock. Tuesday, March the 15th, Mars P8 School. We know those schools as junior high schools, but groundbreaking for the new school will take place on Tuesday, March the 15th. Tuesday also at 6 o'clock, that will be our annual town hall meeting. We invite all of the citizens that will come out. Members from the administration will be there to talk to you about your concerns in Huntsville. The weekend also has in place the Al-Azhar Temple 195 and Al-Azhar Court 181, Prince Hall Shriners, Desert of Alabama Gala Day Conference, and this will take place at the Marriott. And of course, also on Friday, the Shriners and Daughters Gala Day Conference will be also at the Marriott. This weekend, the 35th anniversary of the Pastor Johnny Jones would take place at his church. Again, the Reverend Dr. Julius R. Scruggs will have his pastoral celebration this weekend. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Showers. Mr. Russell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to say congratulations to J.O. Johnson, Westminster Christian, and Madison Academy for their boys basketball team winning the state championships in their respective classifications. It was quite unusual to have 3 teams from our area do so well. This past Sunday, I was able to attend Huntsville High's production of the Broadway play Legally Blonde. It was absolutely fabulous, and I encourage you to go. And Dylan Laughlin was outstanding as the main character, Elle Woods. My family and I have watched that movie probably 1,000 times and enjoyed seeing Ann Dylan play the role. Ann Dylan is a very talented senior at Huntsville High School, and she has helped the Sports Kitchen many times by singing the national anthem before our school state championship events. And every time she sings, we get so many compliments about the talent in Huntsville, so she makes me proud, and all the cast members. I think there were over 100 students that participated in Legally Blonde. They all did a great job, and the performance was really, really good. And so you can still catch it. It may be playing tonight and this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Also coming up this weekend, you can catch Grissom's performance of The Wizard of Oz. I'm sure it'll be entertaining just as Huntsville High's was. But we ask that you please support your local art community by attending one of these shows. We really need to encourage these kids to continue on and perform. It makes our community so much better. Last weekend also I was able to go to the Kite Festival. Bhavani Kakani and her group of volunteers do a wonderful job. She estimated she had over 6,000 people there at the Kite Festival, and I was honored to represent the council at the ribbon cutting. It was a great day. The mayor declared this week Innovation Week. We have quite a bit of entrepreneurs in our community, and it was exciting to join the mayor and claim this Innovation Week, and we're looking forward to all the great things those people do for us. And also, I was able to join the mayor at Big Spring Park East announcement. The construction is almost done. We've got about 20-something days left, trying to get it open by panoply, and so many city departments are involved. I hate to name them all today, but they were doing such a great job, and they've done a lot of the work themselves to save the city money, and we really appreciate that. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Russell. Dr. Robinson.
Last week, the mayor and I had the opportunity to attend a press announcement at Ditto Landing introducing their new executive director, Brandy Quick, and also just to take a look at the new plans that have been developed for Ditto. We're looking forward to great things happening there. I said at that press announcement that it's time we stop referring to Ditto as one of Huntsville's best-kept secrets and make it a destination that everyone knows about and is excited to go to visit. As we were looking at those districts on the map from the Convention and Visitors Bureau, I thought how wonderful it would be to have a recreation district there in the Ditto area. We've also been reminded tonight that Huntsville is the Rocket City, a technology hub and a center of innovation, and in keeping with that, we're seeing similarly good things in that vein happening in our schools. Challenger Middle School and Mountain Gap Middle School both took the top 3 places at the State Middle School Cyber Patriot competition, and that's great preparation for them to then participate in the cybersecurity team at Grissom, which again is going to be competing in the nationals. They have been national champions now for 2 years, and I know they'll continue that. That's great, a great feeder pool for Grissom. The regional first robotics competition is going to be coming to the BBC March 24th to 26th. I have been told, and again in keeping with the presentation night from our friends at the Convention and Visitors Bureau, that this regional robotics competition is equal in energy and excitement and attendance to any athletic competition that we have had here. There are going to be hundreds of young people coming from many different states, and I think there are even some foreign countries that are going to be coming for this robotics competition. So this is going to be a really, really exciting opportunity for the Rocket City to host this. It's going to be really cool to watch. So I would suggest that people check the schedules and come and watch this competition. I'm really looking forward to it, March 24th to 26th at the BBC. And finally, the South Huntsville Business Association had their meeting this week. I had Ken Smith from the Chamber come and do a market study, and it was really very remarkable to see what Mr. Smith could do. And I know Dr. Showers, I would recommend his help to you with your business association also. It was really very interesting how he was able to drill down to demographics and look at market projections. We hear a lot about retail saturation, in particularly in Huntsville, and he actually identified retail leakage opportunities for restaurants and retail in South Huntsville. So as those overpasses develop and are finished, we'll look forward to seeing some of that development take place there and expand some of those opportunities. And finally, want to thank ALDOT and again our traffic engineering and our city engineering here with the city. The response to many requests on the part of the citizens with regard to the construction process and the resulting traffic, there have been many emails, many phone calls, and everyone, ALDOT and city staff, have been extremely patient in working with those concerns and addressing them. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Dr. Robinson. Mr. Kling?
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, over the past week, I've had a chance to go to 2 neighborhood association meetings, Merrimack and also the one at Holiday Homes. And again, it's just great to see these neighborhoods. I hear great feedback from the residents concerning protection services that are provided by the police department, responsiveness, and also kudos for the community development department for what they've done to provide assistance to the residents of those 2 neighborhoods. So enjoyed getting out to those meetings and participating with the residents of those 2 respective neighborhoods. A little bit of housekeeping. I'd like to ask if we could get traffic engineered and go out and double check the traffic, those little pylons that we have for the merge lanes at Governors of California, then also the other one that Drake Avenue at Whitesburg. I think a couple of those little plastic pylons have been knocked over, and I guess we need somebody to kind of reset them. I noticed that the fallen pylons are in the vicinity over there, out of the way, but I guess we just need to get a little maintenance work done over there. Also, I want to announce that my monthly town meeting will be held March the 21st, a week from this coming Monday, and we do have a new time. Instead of at 7 o'clock, from now on, the meetings are going to begin at 6 p.m. This is in response to feedback I'd received from folks who had said that they preferred it to be at that time instead of later that we've had in the past. So again, that'll be at 6 p.m. Beginning on the 3rd Monday of each month, and this month it'll be March the 21st. Also, Shane, I didn't get a chance to connect with you before the meeting, but you may remember at our last meeting, we were having some discussion about the old Hilton property. And have you had a chance to do any computation on sales tax, lodging tax that we would receive over that property once it's developed over a 20-year period, whatever you could come up with, just to see what revenue we're going to be taking in from it?
Councilman McLean, I do, and I do apologize to the council members for this week, but I will email each of you a copy, and also we can post that if you wish.
Okay, it's nothing you're not able to say it now for the public, are you?
I do not. I do have that on file and just have not had a chance to email to you, but I will do that in the morning.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Davis, thank you. Mr. Kling.
And as Councilman Showers pointed out, Morris Elementary Schools, the new K through 8 groundbreaking going on, and that is going to be a great investment for that neighborhood area over there. I believe it's going to be well in excess of a $20 million new construction project, and that and some other things that have taken place, the Stone Middle School development, I think are certainly being great things for West Huntsville. And Mr. President, that's all I have. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Kling. Dr. Showers.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mark, I appreciate you mentioning about our athletics in Huntsville. But tomorrow, next council meeting, our Johnson High Class 5 basketball team, back-to-back state winners, we'll have them here at our next council meeting to hand out certificates, again, on behalf of our council mayor.
Mr. President,
Thank you, Dr. Showers. Mr. Clean?
if I can piggyback off of Councilman Showers, we have had, I think we've got some state champion wrestlers, including one who is a repeat champion, and he's actually the son of one of our city employees. And I think it would certainly behoove us to make sure we recognize those state champions also.
Absolutely. Councilman Clean, if you will do follow-up on that, we'll be more than happy to do that. Thank you, sir. Okay, just a couple of things. I want to recognize Mr. David Johnson. His firm has done a lot of work for the city of Huntsville, and appreciate you being here at this council meeting. Dr. Showers, I want to commend you and Mayor Battle and your staff, Mayor Battle, for the meeting we had at Johnson High. Dr. Showers, you certainly are trailblazing in that neighborhood. I'm excited to hear all of the possible things that could go into Johnson. So I want the general public to understand basically that while there are some differences between Grissom, with it being on a major roadway versus Johnson, which is more in a neighborhood kind of setting, this team that you have, Mayor, is doing exceedingly well with getting input from the public at the directions of Dr. Showers. Very informative meeting. Dr. Robinson, I know that you have Grissom under control, and we're just excited with what's going on with both of those schools. So again, thank you and congratulations. We're now at agenda item number 13, unfinished business items for action. 13A is an ordinance number 16-147, establishing the position of Director of Communication. This was introduced at our regular council meeting, February the 25th, 2016. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion by Dr. Shower, second by Dr. Robinson. Mayor Battle.
Mr. Hamilton, you want to take this as the part of our communication team and communication plan that we have put forth. I think you just met the young lady who will be filling that position. I'm sorry.
No, it's different.
You have not. Go ahead, Mr. Hamilton. Take it away.
Why don't Mr.
before I get
Hamilton take
myself
this?
in trouble.
Okay, Mr. Hamilton, you have the
So,
floor, sir.
just to clarify, the young lady that did the presentation earlier has been hired and will start here very, very soon on the digital media specialist position that council you created probably 2 or 3 months ago now, and so went through the hiring process. So she'll start very soon and take on many of the tasks that have kind of been waiting for us to get somebody on board to take care of. What is before you this evening, these 3 actions, 13A, B, and C, are all related to the exact same thing. This creates the position of Director of Communications. That's one, as we've discussed previously, that for the last number of years has been handled through a contract. The mayor, as he's worked through what the duties are there, and also relative to just employment law and the things that we need that position to take on, it's more appropriate for it to be done by a city employee. So a couple months ago, you extended the existing contract in order to give us time to get this action in place. The contract comes to an end on March 31st. So this action tonight creates a position and allows the mayor then to, at a future council meeting, appoint someone to take on that city employee position. So the first creates a position, and then the 2 subsequent actions here, B and C, do the budget actions and things necessary to actually have the position in place.
Thank you, Mr. Hamilton. Council members?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hamilton, who will this position supervise?
There's actually 2 positions that are actually city employee positions. One is our cameraman Blake Hudson, who does a lot of the work through the TV station. Obviously, he's here tonight working, and then also the digital media specialist. Then also there's a number of contracts that are executed. So in some cases there might be temporary special employee contracts like we have right now with Brenda Martin as an example. But then also sometimes there's actions that you might contract out to an outside firm. This position would also have that supervisory management role over those contracts.
And will this be I've always asked for one person to be in charge of the city's website, and we've never been able to achieve that. Will this person be in charge of the city's website?
Yes, and that's really on the design and content side. Obviously, ITS has a role in just building the site and in doing the doing kind of the back end side, but this position will be responsible for managing the design, the content, the manner in which the departments use and upload into the website.
And who will this person report to?
To the mayor.
To the mayor, directly to the mayor, not through you?
Correct. So this position will be a member of the mayor's office, but want to be clear, and the duty description, it makes this very, very clear. This is the city's director of communication, just like director of public works is the city's director of public works, even though that position reports up through the administration. So there are certainly communication needs of city council. This position and the employees that work for this position will support those needs for city council, as Kelly Scrimsher, as the contractor currently does. Dr. Robinson's newsletter is an example where this position has historically supported council's needs. So not only the mayor's needs, the council's needs, but also the various departments. This position will synchronize those efforts. Some of our departments have embedded communications capability, so this position will kind of synchronize their efforts. The police department and Parks and Rec are our two biggest examples of departments that do a great deal of public communications, and this position has, I don't want to say supervisory. I mean, there's a clear chain of command from those people inside those departments to their department heads. But this position has a lot of responsibility in synchronizing their efforts, making sure that what they're doing is in concert with the needs of the other departments of the city, the mayor, the council.
Yeah, and I don't have a better solution right now, but that kind of concerns me that we'll have PR people in each department, but they don't report to Director of Communications, but the Director of Communications is going to try to synchronize them, in using your words, and so I think we need to watch that.
I agree wholeheartedly, and in fact that system is already happening right now. Obviously under the leadership of a contractor, and it's also something that I monitor closely because both of those department heads, are report to me, and that I work closely with them, and so it has been working extremely well. I sit on the outside and watch those communications, and I see a great deal of communication and collaboration amongst those departments with the Director of Communications.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Russell. Thank you, Mr. Hamilton. Any further discussion, Dr. Robinson?
One last, just a comment or an observation. I think it's really important to establish this position of a Director of Communications, particularly because our city is lacking the presence of a newspaper, or AL.com is not really filling that role of communications anymore, and so this is the way the city is going to be able to get out that information because we don't have the traditional vehicles that we used to have. So that seems to me to be another justification for doing it.
Thank you, Dr. Robinson. Council members, any further discussion?
Mr. President, I guess there's the old adage, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I've already started communication with Kelly Scrimsher to kind of follow the footsteps of Dr. Robinson, and we're in the process of working to establish a district newsletter, for District 4 to kind of highlight some of the issues. So I think the idea of doing this and kind of filling the gap to really, see city government go out to reach the communities and show what we're doing up here. We do have a lot of good things. A lot of it's nuts and bolts. Sometimes it's the very few bumps in the road that get all the attention, but there are a lot of very positive things going on in the community. I've already been utilizing the positions to put out about my town meetings, and I think this newsletter will certainly be a good follow-up, and that might be a concept that other council members may want to look at doing also.
Absolutely, Councilman Kling. I'm certainly in communications with Ms. Scrimsher regarding some of the other social medias that we're looking to implement, so great idea. Thank you, Councilman Kling. Any further discussion? Ready for the question? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It carries. 15B is an ordinance number 16148, amending ordinance number 89-79 as amended classification and salary plan. This was introduced at our regular council meeting, February the 25th, 2015. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion by
Second.
Dr. Robinson, second by Mr. Kling. Discussion. Mayor Battle.
Same thing. This is the same job. It just adds it to the classification salary plan.
Thank you. Any further discussion, council members? Ready for the question? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It carries. 13C is ordinance number 16-149, amending budget ordinance number 15-642 to modify the authorized strength of a department, introduced at our regular council meeting February the 25th, Chair moves for approval.
Second.
Second by Dr. Showers. Discussion. Ready?
Mr. Chairman, this does the same thing, just adds strength. It will add one more person to administration payroll.
Thank you. Mayor Battle, any further discussion? Council members. Ready for the question? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it. It carries. Council members, we are now at agenda item number 14. The chair moves for consolidation and approval of 14A through F. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dr. Showers. Ready for the, hold that for a minute. I want to read these into the record. 14A is an introduction of an ordinance annexing of land on the east side of Forest Hill Drive and south of Doug Hill Road, brought by planning. 14B is the introduction of an ordinance annexing of land lying on the west side of Old Monrovia Road and north side of Wayne Road, brought by planning. 14C is the introduction of an ordinance declaring certain equipment surplus and to be donated to the Huntsville Tennis Center, brought by police. 14D is the introduction of an ordinance declaring certain equipment surplus to be donated to Huntsville Area Crime Stoppers, brought by police. 14E is the introduction of an ordinance amending ordinance number 89-79, classification and salary plan ordinance, brought by Human Resources. 14F is the introduction of an ordinance amending budget ordinance number 15-642 to modify the authorized strength of the departments, brought by Human Resources. Motion has been made and properly second. Ready for the question?
Mr. Chairman, I just want to bring up a point of order. Normally, you just need to introduce these items, 14A through F, for the public's knowledge that they've been introduced. We don't need to take a vote on them.
That is
But
correct.
unless you want to.
No, sir. We're not taking a vote on those. Thank you for the point of order. It is well taken. And we will take these items up, council members, at our next regular scheduled council meeting. We're now at agenda item number 15, new business items for consideration or action. This chair moves for to hold item 15T. Are there any items that you wish to hold?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to hold 15R.
We have items 15T and 15R. Any additional items that you wish to hold? Be reminded, council members, that 15F and 15U both have been deleted. 15A is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement between the city of Huntsville and rock carving for Earth Day event at Hayes Nature Preserve on April 23, 2016, brought by Landscape. 15B is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement between the city of Huntsville and Ballpark LLC for hardware and software licenses for use at the City of Huntsville event facilities, brought by Parking. 15C is a resolution authorizing the City of Huntsville to enter into an agreement with the Alabama Historical Commission for a grant in the amount of $1,260 for a scholarship to allow Jessica White to attend the National Alliance of Preservation Commissions Forum 2016 in Mobile, Alabama, July 26th through the 31st, 2016, and the Federal Historic Preservation Tax Incentive, NPS, and SHPO workshops in Washington, D.C., July the 12th through the 14th, 2016, brought by Inspections. 15D is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a memorandum of understanding between the Huntsville Housing Authority and the City of Huntsville, brought by Police. 15E is a resolution authorizing the city attorney to settle the claim of Gracie Wells and Nalia Baker, claim fiscal year 13-91, brought by the city attorney. 15G is a request for authorization to advertise and fill the position of accountant 2 and to fill at a higher than minimum within the grade if necessary, brought by the clerk treasurer. 15H is an ordinance amending budget ordinance number 15-642 by changing the authorized personnel strength in various departments and funds, brought by finance. 15I is ordinance amending the budget ordinance number 15-642 by changing appropriated funding for various departments and funds, brought by finance. 15J is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the low bidders as specified in the attached summary of bids for acceptance, brought by finance. 15K is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a membership agreement with the Cooperative Purchasing Network, Tango Charlie Papa November, brought by finance. 15L is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an originator participation agreement between the City of Huntsville and Total Media Management, LLC, doing business as New South Mortgage as a participating lender for the Downtown Payment Assistance Program brought by Community Development. 15M is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement between the City of Huntsville, Alabama, and Wonderware, Inc., doing business as Core Business Technologies, to maintain access to historical data due to the Tyler Munis implementation brought by ITS. 15N is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement between the City of Huntsville, Alabama, and Summit Technology, an MTech company, for database support brought by ITS. 15O is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute change order number 2 to the agreement between the City of Huntsville, Reed Contracting Services, Inc., for periodic bid for various construction projects. 2013, project number 65-13, Sierra Papa 31, brought by engineering. 15P is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute modification number 1 to the agreement between the City of Huntsville and Land Design Solutions, Inc., for Jefferson Street Streetscapes Improvements, project number 65-15, Sierra Papa 04, brought by engineering. 15Q is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement between the City of Huntsville and the low bidder, Reed Contracting Services, Inc., for Chase Farm Industrial Access Road Improvements, projects number 71-16, Romeo Delta 01, and ALDOT project number L Lima Alpha Romeo -042-000-009, brought by engineering. 15S is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a hold harmless agreement for Huntsville Fire and Rescue to conduct training exercise on Huntsville Hospital property, brought by Fire and Rescue.
Mr. Chairman, I move for consolidation approval of 15A through E, 15G through 15Q, and 15S.
Motion has been made for consolidation and approval of 15A through E, G through Q, and S, second by Dr. Showers. Discussion, ready for the question. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. It carries. 15R is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement between the City of Huntsville and Matheny Goldman Architecture and Interiors, LLC, for architectural services for the Clinton Avenue parking garage located at 116 Clinton Avenue, brought by General Service. The chair moves for approval.
Second.
Second by Dr. Showers. Discussion.
Mr. Chairman?
Easter. Yes, sir. Mr. Russell.
I have questions. Mr. Easter, as this was presented to us at the last meeting, I believe Mr. Davis presented it. My understanding was the city would not be paying any architectural fees to Matheny Goldman, that the developer would actually be paying those fees. Why are we paying them?
Okay, the fees out of this service is actually coming out of the $200,000 that was dedicated to the project. This is not over and above what was passed at the last council meeting. This is inclusive of that money.
And so this is, we agreed to pay $200,000 of fees and cap it at that, and you're taking this money out of that $200,000?
That is correct.
And what will the other money be spent on? What kind of
other-
fees do you think we'll be seeing?
The total project cost right now is estimated to be $279,000. Everything over the original $200,000 has to be borne by the developer.
And so the first 200, no matter what they are, the city is going to pay? Is that the way it works?
That is correct.
Okay.
Any further discussion, council members? Ready for the question? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It carries. Thank you, Mr. Easter. 15T is a resolution authorizing the mayor to submit a grant application between the City of Huntsville and the State of Alabama for a grant award in the amount of $20,000 for a heritage development plan for Normal Historical District at Alabama A&M University.
Move to approve.
Motion by Dr. Showers.
Second.
Second by Dr. Robinson. Discussion. Mr.
Randy Cunningham, inspection.
Cunningham, yes. Any questions, council members?
Mr. Culver, you held it.
Would you discuss that with us, sir, the purpose of this?
I would like to defer that to Jessica White. She's our special consultant employee.
Thank you.
Good evening. Jessica White with the Inspection Department.
Thank you, ma'am.
This is going to be a certified local government grant application in the amount of $20,000. That requires a 40% matching fund. Alabama A&M University has agreed to commit $6,000 of the matching fund. Normal Historic District Preservation Association has volunteered to commit $1,000, and the Historic Huntsville Foundation has committed to the remaining $1,000. to cover the 40% matching fund. The purpose of this Heritage Development Plan is to identify the historic importance of the historic buildings within the district on campus. It will help to identify or assess the preservation needs or restoration needs for the buildings within the historic district. It will help to identify long-term use so that those buildings can be sustained over a long period of time, and will also help to identify funding opportunities to help fuel any type of preservation or restoration efforts that will happen in the historic district.
Thank you. Are there any disadvantages to the city of Huntsville engaging in this?
No, sir.
Council members, any further discussion?
Yes.
Dr. Showers.
Thank you so kindly. In the effort to identify the significance of the historical sections of the campus buildings, some that are dilapidated, some that are in need of repair, who will bear the cost of fixing those identified buildings?
We have not made that determination. This is just to make a plan. It's basically a plan of a roadmap to identify the possible uses for the buildings and means of funding it. That will it will be up to the university after that to implement the plan.
Any further discussion? Dr. Robinson.
Where is the historical district? Is it on the campus or
Yes.
actually on the campus itself?
Yes, ma'am. Alabama A&M has approximately 46 buildings total in its within the boundaries of its National Register Historic District, and those include several resources and buildings. So the fields on the west side of campus, Council Training School on the west side of campus, as well as many of the buildings on the hill, are all within the boundaries of that historic district.
Ms. Klein, you might remember when Dr. Gibson was president out there, we had it identified then, and so I'm just delighted that we're coming back with this grant to do what you have indicated that is going to be done with this particular grant.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ms. White, any further discussion? Council members, ready for the question? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It carries. Thank you, Mr. Cunningham and Ms. White. Council members, we do not have any legal department items or transactions. We're now at agenda item number 17, non-roster communications from the public. If you wish to address the public, please position yourself in proximity to the microphone. State your name and address for the record, please.
Jackie Reed.
Thank you, Ms. Reed.
I would like to go back up to P and see about, well, first I'd like to say, when you have a Huntsville utility item, I'd like to know the value and the cost of that put on the agenda. And when you annex property, I see you annex a lot. I'd like to see if you could put the acres on there that you're going to annex. I'm trying to educate the public just a little bit better. And also, on Channel 42, if you would put the 10-year district plan that y'all passed up there on a map and put your name and circle those colors of your district. And let's elect the people to know whose district and who's representing them. I'm tired of trying to tell them who their council person is. I hear all these complaints all day long. Who's your council person? I don't know. Well, I'm out to educate you when it comes to government. I want you to put up a map somewhere. Put your name on that district that you're representing. Let's see if we can educate the people in the city of Huntsville. I also believe, and Mr. Kling, I don't know what's wrong with Governor's Drive in California Street. I hear that a planning department man went out there and talked to some of the neighbors about a cul-de-sac or something. I never heard of such. That's not the worst street in this city. Governor's Drive in California Street. That's not the worst city I go through every day. That's not the worst street. I see them go through that. I bet I go through that 3 or 4 times a day. I go from my house downtown. I have to go downtown. That's what gets me too. All the way over here to Governor's Drive in California Street. And then I go back the other way. Anyway, I'm just saying that's not the worst street that we're dealing with. I don't think so. I hadn't really met up with Dennis yet of how he talked to those neighbors and what that was about. I'm going to. I wasn't allowed to go because I wasn't one of them. But anyway, if I'm not allowed to go, I'll make sure I found out what's going on. You can bet on it. Anyway, have a good night, and I love you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Reed. Mr. Clean.
Okay. Ms. Reed, just to explain it to you, what I was talking about are the pylons, those little plastic pylons that occasionally they get knocked over. That's what we just want to get them put back up, that are up there. What the meeting over the weekend had to do with residents of the eastern end of Longwood Drive, and there's a possibility that because of traffic danger and everything, that they may close off that entrance so that you don't have hard right turns coming in. There's some traffic safety issues. That was brought up a couple of years ago, and it was decided to wait until after the Governor's Drive road widening project had been completed, and then I guess the city planner, Mr. Madsen, went out and met with members of the residents of the neighborhood last weekend.
I don't want to get involved, but my son lives in that neighborhood pretty close to what you're doing, so I'm sure I'll be in the middle of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Reed. Thank you. And Ms. Reed, you stated that Channel 42, you want the 10-year district plan with our names on each district. You stated that when we annex land to put the number of acres and the value of cost of utility items that are on the agenda. We'll certainly look into that, ma'am. Thank you so kindly. And yes, sir, if you will, state your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, my name is Joseph Lee. My address is 5104 Sunrise Trail, Huntsville, Alabama, 35810.
Thank you.
And I only rise for the purpose of information and also to thank the council. I found it quite interesting to hear the council members ask questions about the normal National Historic District, which is on the campus of Alabama University. And I think it's, I really appreciate the fact that the amount of funds that the city is applying for will hopefully help the university with the National Historic District that it has. But I want to just briefly add why this is important, just briefly. I won't take but a moment. There are a few places in Huntsville that chronicles the history of African Americans in this city. One of those places is the Normal National Historic District, which is at the top of the hill of Normal Hill in Huntsville at the university. Now, what's there is the first black county hospital in the county that served blacks. Also, that's the Virginia McCormick Infirmary. It's also there is the first high school for blacks in this county. Also, there is a stadium that was built with CCC, the Civilian Conservation Corps funds in the 1940s is there. There's also a 1920 Andrew Carnegie Library there. And there are many other buildings there, as Ms. White mentioned, that have quite significance from the standpoint of the education of African Americans in this country, not just in this state, in this country, particularly when you go back to the 1890 land grant bill. So in our midst is a university that has a significant number of historic structures that personally I think is important that both the city, the county, and also the state work to use those artifacts to both educate the public about the struggle for freedom that African Americans went through and for education in this country and in the state. So I really thank you for approving this particular action, and I think it is imperative that the public knows about this particular site. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And I want to clarify my inquiry. I certainly support Alabama A&M University, twice alumnus of A&M, and my concern was whether or not it would prejudice the school. Sometimes when we do things that put institutions or even private residents kind of in a box so that only certain limited things can be done. So we certainly thank you for your comments. Any additional comments from the council? Motion to adjourn. We adjourn. Thanks.